Good evening and welcome to SportsZone. I'm your host, Steven Lucero, joined by Colby, Platt, and Omar, Najm. And guys, we got to talk about UNT football because 4-0, baby. It's been insane. I don't know. This was a game against Army where you go in, you know you can win it, but you suffered a tough loss to Army last year. Haven't beat them since 2017. I was at that game, legacy game. That was a really good one. But here you go into West Point, and it started off really strong. They, at one point, were up 28-7. Then Army kind of started coming back. But in the end, UNT makes it happen. Colby, tell me, what did you see from that game?
I mean, I saw a very strong offensive performance from UNT as we take a look at some highlights from the game here. As you said, we're leading 28-7 at half, and then in the second half, we get outscored 24-10. It was a great offensive game and great defensive game to start out with, but unfortunately, once they put in their backup quarterback, it looks like we just started to crumble. Our defense had 3 turnovers, 2 fumble recoveries, 1 there, and then 1 interception. And our rushing game was unstoppable. Mackenzie McGill, 19 carries, 101 yards, a touchdown. And then Caleb Hawkins, career legacy game, 13 carries, 99 yards, 4 touchdowns. He is the American Offensive Player of the Week. And I just think, overall, this offense it's shining. Eric Morris is doing a great job with Drew Mestemaker and this entire offense. 8 different players had at least 1 reception this game. So we're not only just relying on one player on the receiving core or on the running back core, we're relying on everybody. We are really stretching out this offense.
Yeah, absolutely. We just saw Mackenzie McGill punch that in for a touchdown, and then now another UNT turnover. The defense forcing fumbles once again, and then offensively, you talked about it. The running back duo of Mackenzie McGill and Caleb Hawkins combined for 200 yards and 5 touchdowns together. I mean, that is insane level production. Omar, what did you see from them, and how are they really carrying this offense on the ground?
Yeah, they're so explosive. Last year when Army beat UNT 14-3, we just never could get the ball down the field or time of possession. And we had 27 minutes of time of possession, which was phenomenal for UNT. And for us to just be able to, again, as Colby added, 200 rushing yards from the dynamic duo running backs, I think that is amazing. When you have 2 of your running backs run for 200 rushing yards, most of the time you win the game. And they also won the turnover battle, which I think was huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Caleb Hawkins, machine. Punched in 4 out of those 5 rushing touchdowns. What they've been able to do on the ground is amazing. And then Drew Mestemaker, only 1 touchdown. The box score doesn't look crazy, but he's just kept it well balanced. I don't think he's thrown an interception all year long. Am I right, guys? What he's been able to do is not only step into this role, but take it with, I don't even know how to take it by the reins, but it's been incredible what he's done through the air and on the ground. Colby, how has that balance really helped UNT?
Mestemaker stepped in and just immediately become a leader. And that's not a quality you get out of any quarterback in the league. Mestemaker, obviously a redshirt freshman, started 1 game in high school and has no offers, no stars, and comes in and just is leading us to a 4-0 start to the season. I think that just speaks volumes to the kind of leadership he has in himself. But much like Omar said, what I think is key is when we're getting to the red zone, we're actually finishing in the red zone, and we are scoring on each drive to the red zone. Last year versus Army, we had 3 red zone interceptions, which cost us each time, and we had a chance to win that game. But just those turnovers in the red zone is what cost us that game. So seeing this season, us actually getting to the red zone and then finishing on those drives is amazing. And Drew Mestemaker is not only just the main story of this team, but the whole team as a whole is a story in itself. 68 newcomers this season. That's the second most in FBS, right behind Utah State. And 42 of those 68 newcomers are transfers. That's also second most, right behind New Mexico. So not only is Mestemaker leading this team of newcomers and has a story of his own, but he's leading the story of North Texas, and that's why we're starting to gain more traction in college football.
Yep, definitely. Mestemaker, 249 yards and a touchdown. McGill had 101 and a touchdown. Caleb Hawkins had 99 with 4 touchdowns, including that game winner we saw at the very end. And Miles Coleman, another solid game, 8 receptions for 74 yards. Hawkins, I want to talk through a little bit of the end of that game because it was wild. You're up in control, and then Army crawled their way back. They found a way to get back in it. It was a costly fumble. That was the one mistake of the running backs where You could have put it away. Instead, they get it. But the defense did make a stand because they got close. And, man, I was afraid they were going to get a touchdown and just win it right there in regulation. In the end, they get the stand, forces overtime, and then you go straight down the field with Caleb Hawkins, punches it in, and then you get a stop on defense. Colby, walk me through that defensive stand.
I think the defensive stand was absolutely amazing. I think that decent defensive stand only happens when Dwayne Coleman comes out of the game. When he came out of the game and Cale Helms comes back in the game, we win that game. I mean, Cale Helms, his entire game, 0 for 2, 0 yards passing, 9 carries for 23 yards, obviously a fumble and an interception. So when Dwayne Coleman comes into this game, that's when our defense starts to crumble. In the middle of the second quarter, Dwayne Coleman comes in, and for some reason, he's just the second coming of Jalen Hurts. He's running the ball immediately when he gets the snap, and our defense just doesn't seem to have an answer for some reason. So when Dwayne Coleman gets hurt on their overtime drive and Helms has to come back into the game, our defense immediately, I feel like they got a surge of like, oh, well, we've been shutting this guy down for the first quarter and the first of the second quarter, so now we can win this game again.
Yeah, and they did. They did win that game. It was incredible what the defense was able to do at the end. Omar, walk me through a little bit what was going through your mind. During that comeback, it's like, man, we can't lose this one, right? How was the defense able to lock in? Like he said, the injury might have helped a little bit, but how were they able to really close out this game when it mattered most?
Yeah, I think they played great through adversity, I guess. You know, both defenses were honestly getting dominated. Mm-hmm. There was no defense this game. So I think just to hold it after a costly fumble and being able to stand and just be able to make it happen and be able to go to overtime and not let Army score a touchdown there was huge. And it was definitely scary. You know, it kind of reminded me of some of the UNT games where we would be up and then just have something costly and we lose somehow. So that was great. I think that's adversity will carry on throughout the season. And I think wins like that will help us throughout the season.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I want to zoom out just a little bit because, guys, UNT is 4-0. We know that. That's pretty good. One of the best starts they've had in quite a while. But if you guys didn't know, we received 2 votes in the AP Top 25 poll this week. For the first time since 2018, North Texas has received votes. UNT has not been ranked in the top 25 since 1959. So UNT, chance for history if they can keep putting together some wins. Colby, do you think UNT could be ranked this season?
I'll say it. We should have been ranked this week.
All right.
We should have been ranked this week. They keep sleeping on us and keep sleeping on us. That is what feeds the beast. No, but a chance to go 5-0 when we play South Alabama this Saturday. A chance to go 5-0 for the first time since 1977. And, I mean, this conference, too. I mean, we're not in an easy conference, I would say. We're in a tough conference, so the fact that we're competing is huge. But, I mean, obviously, Memphis is doing good. You got Navy and South Florida. I think those are our 2 key games, South Florida and Navy at home. But to be honest, every game from here on out is a key game. Mm-hmm. As soon as we lose one game, we're not going to receive any more votes. As soon as that one hits the loss column, we're done for. So I think if we just continue to just play our game, don't let anyone intimidate us, I think if we play our game correctly, we could see us ranked.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't expect it to happen this week. I did expect those votes, and I was so hyped when I saw it. But I believe that you can keep going. You said South Alabama this Saturday at 11. Hey, be there if you're a student. Omar, do you think that UNT can really find a way to get in the top 25 this year?
I believe so. We just need to also win games, just like how the last week they beat Washington State 59-10. Yep. If we can just keep it going and win games that we should win dominantly. Army was a lot hard. It was really hard. Army's a great football team, and they run the ball so well. So I think if we could just win convincingly and win the important games like Navy, and then maybe if we can make it all the way to the final, play Memphis, that'll be pretty good if that lines up. So, if UNT, if they ranked, I would be the happiest person alive. I could not believe that. So it's exciting football for UNT.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see. And UNT, just before we go, has an 11% chance, according to ESPN, to make the college football playoffs as that 12 seed. So, hey, third best odds in the nation. The American might be representing. We'll have to see. But when we move on, we're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys right after this break.